Hello, my guest, to our next tale for the fifth day. This one is about a jealous dancer who did everything to become the one and only star in the spotlight. So let us begin when she was having to compete with two others for the stage, having performed in front of three judges in a spectacular dance stage studio, showing their elegance and grace to the judges. The dancer trying her best, but was not good enough, having the other two be given more praise than her. Eventually, the judges had told the dancer to try again next time, and as such, she began to leave, hearing the other two performers gloating with glee and thanking the judges for this wonderful chance. With that, the dancer clenched her fists, leaving the building, going back home. And for when she arrived to her home, the dancer found comfort with her cat, crying softly, not believing she was good enough, even when she practiced day in and day out, having her sadness become jealousy, saying of how those other girls didn't deserve to be on the stage, only she. And with her nerves not being able to be controlled, she went out to meet one of them, who luckily was still in the studio, being vengefully yelled at her about how she didn't deserve to be a star, as the dancer was the only one who deserves that spotlight. Having the performer ignore the dancer's petty grievances, but the dancer, angered, went and shoved the performer out an opened window of the third floor they were on, killing the unprepared woman, with the dancer looking out in malice to the deed she did, and left going home, and went to bed. Until, for the next day, arriving to the studio, ignoring all the many people and all police who were talking about what had happened last night, the police questioning everyone, and for when they did make it to the dancer herself, she simply said she was at her home with her cat. And with that, they cleared her for the night. Having the dancer see the other performer crying as she spoke to the police, as the performer who died was her dearest best friend. With the dancer not caring, simply doing her daily dances, until a man arrived saying of how she is doing a fantastic job, showing such great and wonderful elegance to her dancing. With the dancer accepting the compliment, he also brought up how he could want her into his wonderful dancing theater and would be a star. She was wondering where she would sign, as she felt so much glee to this wonderful situation. And of course, the man, simply giving her a covered item, told her to finish the job. Being confused, she unwraps the cloth item, being a gun. Having her about to ask what it was for, but the man disappeared, causing her to examine and look to the gun, saying how this was her time to shine. So with this, she knew what to do. She waited until the female performer left the studio on her own. She followed the performer to an alley, sneaking behind and gunning the unsuspecting performer, and continued to unload the gun to the already dead performer, saying of how this performer and many others who outstage her deserve this, and how she is the only one who deserved the spotlight. And after all this was done, she snuck away from the scene to go home, to enjoy the moment of the new stardom ahead of her. Resting the entire night, soon meeting with the man again, ready to become his new star, as he smiles, accepting and wanting her to gladly join. And with this, they shook hands, and she was able to follow her dream of being a fantastic dancer for all to see, till one day another performer who was hired by the man was coming up next for the stage. But of course, with the dancer's jealousy and anger, she told off the performer about how she's the true star, not this person. He even said so. But of course, this performer mocked her, saying that the man that she believed chose her must have been wrong, and said that she is the true, better performer. And with this, the dancer, being controlled by her bloodlust, went and grabbed a metal bar, and when the curtains were to open, she bashed the performer so hard, causing her body to slide to the edge of the stage. Being out of control, bludgeoned the performer's head to a bloody pulp, as all the people who came to watch screamed, looking in horror through the scene. When the dancer came to her senses, she looked to what she did, then to the crowd, finally to the man who was watching, with the curtains drawn in front of him, smiling. Having police arrive, aiming their weapons, as two people in the crowd wearing smiling masks danced together, with no one else seeing that the dancer, in her madness, went to charge at them as they both hold hands with one another, and then having their other hand making finger pistols as shots rang out for the final curtain call. So, this tale of envy can always lead to such shows of darkness instead of bright sunshine. So, as well, now that it is over, I give a grand applause to you, dear guest, for listening in on these wonderful tales. And do have a wonderful day, and continue to have a smile.